Hey, welcome back to another episode of Gadgets, Tech, and Tips. I'm Scott with Accurate Marine Electronics. We are based out of Key West, Florida, as well as Florida's Treasure Coast. Today we're talking about the importance of transducer installations, and we want to make sure that when you have this done, it is done by what they call an ACI, an Airmar certified installer. By doing this, you are going to get an extra year on your warranty. So no matter where you are across the world, make sure your installer is certified. If you're in Key West, you're in Florida's Treasure Coast, give me a call. We'll be glad to come out there and take care of it for you. We have an Airmar B60, which is a 600 watt standard 5200 transducer. This is going in a Century, which we've already been out there. We've measured the dead rise. It required a 20-degree tilt. That's what we have. This will be going into tomorrow. What we have here is an Airmar TDT 1000. This is a diagnostic tool that allows us to check this before we drill a hole in your boat. We know it's going to work. And it's going to compare this transducer to its exact frequencies when it came out of the factory. Now, it's only been in my possession a couple days. We're going to test it, make sure it's good. You connect it to the smartphone. There's an app that Airmar gives us. We're going to hit start test. It's going to go in here and it is going to ask us for a serial number. And we are going to scan this little QR code. It found it, so we're good. And we're going to start this test. This takes a little bit of time. It's going to test both elements of this transducer, and then it's going to give us a graph. This is the 50 kilohertz test. You can see the blue line is this test, the gray line is the factory test. There's the 200. Once again, blue line is this test, gray line is reference from the factory. Doesn't have to quite match up. You know, we are on a tub. Preferably, if you were to do this with a boat in the water, you'd want to be at least 10 feet deep. So now our test is done. It comes back and it shows me on this little graph that both sides of this are really good. It looks really close to what it looked like coming out of the factory. So now that we have this, we're going to go up here and we're going to send this as a PDF file to myself, and then later I will send that to the customer for his records. I'm first going to input the test type, which is a pre-install. We're going to do the transducer install date, which is going to be tomorrow. So we're going to do that, and we're going to specify this was a block test. There is no name of the boat. We know the size of it, and we know it's a Garmin that's being connected to. And then it's going to ask us to enter the information, which we're going to do. And then I'm going to send this, email it to myself. Now this test is complete, and we're going to go to this boat and do some more work. It is a cord hull, so that requires an extra day of prep. We'll cover that later. We just got over here to the ways. We've determined the location for this transducer, and this is a cord hull, so we got to be careful. We're going to do a pilot hole, and hopefully we won't go all the way through the bottom. That way we know how deep we have to cut the main hole. We're going to go right here, our pilot hole. All right, so we've already hit the coring right there. Now it didn't take much. And we're just going to go real slow. And that feels like we hit the glass. We're just going to mark our... I have a feeling there may be a secondary piece of glass in here, the coring, but we'll find out. All right. all the way through this time with the hole saw. And there we go. That's a good solid 2 inches thick almost. Just a little bit of coring. We'll be able to chip that out. Seal that up. And come back tomorrow when that's cured up, sand it down a little bit, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so we're down to the glass. Wipe this down. To seal up this hole, basically we're going to build some fiberglass using West Systems epoxy resin, a hardener, and then a microfiber filler. Nice thing about this is these are designed one pump to one pump. We're probably going to need 3 pumps each. And the idea here is to get this thick enough where it has a consistency almost like creamy peanut butter. So we want it thick. And we're just going to keep on adding the silicate fiber, microfiber, until we get it to the consistency that we want. Some people will just use 5200 to fill up these, but I found that this is a much better way to do it. That way, if in 10 years this transducer has to be replaced again, you're not redoing the coring. This is going to be good to go. There we go. That looks like that's a good peanut butter. Just like any epoxy, this stuff does heat up real fast. And you'll feel it even through the rubber gloves. But this way we know we're going to get a nice water barrier. That wood coring is not going to be affected. We're not going to get any weeping damage to the hull. And it doesn't have to be pretty, because when we come back tomorrow, we are going to sand this down, make sure it's really nice and smooth. And when we're done here, we'll go down below, tape up this hole from the bottom, which will help it make sure no moisture is. If it rains or whatever, we're good to go. And that's it. This hole is just going to sit.
yeah, oh yeah.
Then we're going to get the owner to help us. We're going to goop this up, and I don't care if it comes out, because we will clean it up after it's tightened up. It will spooge out, but the way I look at this, the more the merrier. And that's why we wear rubber gloves. And I got my tape line here. And this is going to be where the nut goes. All right. Here it comes. And a piece of tape on it. Spring set down. Just start with the thread. So these have a little arrow. We want this arrow to point towards the keel. And there the trick is keeping it in place. Once again, this is a B60. It's a 600 watt transducer. Alright, so our rubber seal is good. Our arrow is right there at the keel. And we're going to go back down and we're going to clean up a mess. And that is an installed through-hole transducer into the cord hull. Clean this up with mineral spirits. Make sure we got a good bead. Looks like we do. We're going to leave that tape on there because they're going to paint the bottom of this and that'll just protect it. I've already talked to the painter, he's aware of it, and he will hopefully remember to remove that before the boat goes back to the water. That is it for installing a through-hole transducer. That does it for today's episode of Gadgets, Tech, and Tips. We hope you join us next month. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. We'll see you next time.